Okay, Itamak Skanatani, good morning. It is the 7th of August, Tuesday morning, 2018, in the lunar cycle Okonokist Otsitsichpi, when the Saskatoon berries ripen. And this morning I'm starting off looking for evidence of a skunk residency here at this set of apartments. Yeah, now the tenants here had reported seeing skunks under the shed out back earlier in the year, and I put a trap out there. Never really had any success, and actually, looking at it, this shed is not really ideal at all for skunks anyway, because it's raised off the ground a bit, right? So you can see right through there. It's not a skunk, normal, attractive skunk denning area. But there might be something else around here, so I'm just going to kind of poke around the property and see if I come across anything. Alright, so here's evidence of something living here. This is just along the walkway going into one of the units. And might be a skunk, might be a mountain cottontail, but something has definitely dug out under there. It's not recent that they dug it out, and there's actually, no, that's some plastic. I thought maybe there was a funnel web spider. If there was a funnel web, then you could definitely see if something's coming in and out of there. So what I'm gonna do is maybe put something in there, like just even a piece of cardboard or something, to see if anything's moving in or out. So that's one spot. It's another potential something, though I don't think so. This is part of the stairwell here going into one of the units, and there's an opening, a crack off here, but this time there is actually a funnel web spider there. I don't know if you'll be able to see it on camera, but with that funnel web there being so intact, nothing's moving in and out of there. Do got a little bit of fur from someone left behind here. But yeah, that webbing there, nobody's moved in and out of there recently. Okay, so as far as I can tell, it's just this one hole that has the potential to be a skunk den. So I'm gonna put some dead leaf, some kind of old dead leaf plug in there for 24 hours, and we'll see if there's any actual animals coming in or out of there. Now, even if there is, it could be a rabbit, but then it could be a skunk, so we'll probably set out a trap if anything's coming in and out of there. Now we'll just leave it like that and see if anything pushes through overnight. Slow days, very slow days. I think this is the 4th or 5th day in a row at least the 4th, that I haven't had a rattlesnake call. 7 o'clock in the evening now, and I'm just on to really my second kind of gig of the day. And this is going to involve a live animal. It's at the Bridgeview RV Resort, and they have a skunk caught in a fire pit, and the pit is deep enough that the skunk can't get out of it, so they need assistance with that. But yeah, otherwise I haven't been getting any calls, and I think it's because it's just so hot. I mean, it's been really hot here. I think tomorrow it's supposed to get up to like 39, 40 degrees Celsius, which not sure the conversion, but it's in the hot range, right? When it gets that warm, like it does only a couple of days of the year, us guys from Alberta who are acclimatized to a little bit cooler weather, we tend to stay indoors. And I think the indoor people aren't running into too many rattlesnakes, know what I mean? So at least we got a skunk to deal with. So let's go check that one out. You little guy. Yeah. All right. There's the buddy right there. Yeah, we're gonna pull you out of there. Alright, let's try the neck again.
Whoa, there he goes, there he goes.
We'll get you one of these times, poor guy. Yeah, he's definitely not feeling as spunky as a normal skunk would. See if we can pull you out from, get you a step
from the dangerous side.
Step through. Step through with your feet. Come on, buddy. Alright, we'll try the head again. Oh, not nice to be lifted up by your neck, though. Alright, I have brought Skunk home with me. We're just here on the side of my house and he's having a meal, and I want to get him fed and hydrated and feeling good before I let him go, because you could see, you know, well, I don't know if you could see it because he was in the fire pit, but even when I pulled him out that time when he was kind of stuck on the side of the fire pit, a normal skunk would be responding, a skunk in good health would be responding a little bit better than that, right? So he's not doing well. He's probably been, who knows how long, stuck in that fire pit and hungry, starving. Like, he's been more interested in food actually than he has in the water yet, but I imagine he's got to be very dehydrated too. So yeah, just gonna give him a little bit of energy and get some hydration back in him, let him cool down here for a bit, and then we'll see. Maybe tonight I'll let him go, maybe I'll keep him around till morning and bring him down to let him go at morning time. So looks like we are rolling into day 2, Wednesday, August 8th, for this video. Late last night, I took the skunk out to the edge of the coulee by Heritage and released it. Long story short, there's no footage. I took my Sony Handycam with the night vision and everything along for the trip, but when I was hitting record, when I thought I was hitting record, I was actually hitting stop, and when I thought I was hitting stop, I was hitting record, so I got the wrong footage from last night, unfortunately. But yeah, the skunk did well, kind of rebounded. He wasn't fully fully hydrated and fed. I think, well, he ate a lot, but I don't know if he'd regained all of his hydration yet. But he was definitely more alert and everything, and I thought it would be best to let him out at nighttime so that he could spend a good part of the night trying to sort things out, because that's his normal, he's a nocturnal animal. It's his normal rhythm. So I thought that would be good. This morning there's been no skunk calls, and it's supposed to be a scorcher today, so I don't know how much action we're actually going to get, but I do have a few homes to visit with different issues to set up traps or check on things. The first one, of course, is the one from yesterday morning. Here we're checking to see the leaf debris, whether it was pulled out, and as you can see here, it's all still stuffed right in there, so there's no animal coming in and out of this hole. So I think I can tell the homeowner here that or the property owner that they definitely don't have a skunk den in here. whether they want to try setting a trap for a couple of days or something. I don't think we'll actually catch anyone, but you know, there could be, if there's a skunk in the area of a couple blocks, you never know. So there's that. I've also got that client on the other side of town, way on the south side of town, the one who has the trailer where it's really all blocked off. There shouldn't be a way for a skunk to get under her place, but most nights she's reporting a skunk under her bedroom and she can smell it. And it's really a mystery what's going on there. I caught one skunk there, left up the camera trap, didn't see anything on the camera trap to indicate other animals being around. But late last night, about 4:30, she messaged me and said it's back and the smell is terrible. It's right under her bedroom. Oh my God. And I'm just glad she messaged me on Facebook and not on my phone messenger, because my Facebook messages I don't have audible notifications for. So I wasn't woken up. Saw the message this morning. I'm happy to be woken up for emergencies, but a skunk passing through is not an emergency. Nothing that's going to pull me out of bed at 4:30 in the morning anyway. So, all right. So that, and then I've got another place to set a trap at. Other than that, though, it could end up being, you know, it's slow days because of the heat. I think people aren't outside, and the animals are hunkered down. So we'll see what happens. So this is the residency here where I'm setting up my new trap. I already went and checked the one from the call from late last night, the smelling of the skunk under the house. Set up a camera trap on the other side of the unit there to see whether or not we can see any skunks moving around, but it really is a mystery whatever's going on there. Here, what I'm told is that under the shed over here is where the skunk or skunks have been noticed. So I think probably the best place for me to put the trap is right between the shed and the wall here, where it's going to stay pretty shady throughout the day. And of course I'll leave some water. I also have, right now I've got another rattlesnake call. Probably not an actual rattlesnake. Somebody said they saw a small rattlesnake, a very small rattlesnake, by a bench at the Scenic Park Dog Run. The bench that's closest to the radiology buildings there. I'm guessing it's a garter snake, but you never know, so I gotta go check it out. So I'm gonna set up this skunk trap quick and then head that way. Here's something odd. I've seen this board back there and I kind of lifted it up and there's a bunch of these little clay marble looking things underneath them. I have no idea what these are, but I found them here and there around town. They look like little terracotta balls. I have no idea what they're used for or anything like that, but I see them around once in a while. Okay, so I'm here in the area of this bench where the reported rattlesnake was seen. Whether it's a rattlesnake or a garter snake, I think likelihood is this particular reptile would have vacated the area. The caller phoned in 20 minutes after she'd actually seen it. I think she was probably out for a walk and didn't have her phone with her or something. So anytime I get a call and someone's not really on the scene watching a snake, the chance that I'm going to find that snake is much more slim. But you know, it happens, so I always come out and do my due diligence. And it happens that there are occasionally rattlesnakes in this area too, although most likely it was a garter snake. So just poking around a little bit and then if I don't find it, I think we will shoot over to Upper Popson and check out what's going on with the black widows this morning. So no rattlesnake, predictably, and I made my way over here to Upper Popson. I've got a camera now set up above the black widow nest for a few minutes, and we'll see if Mama wants to put on any kind of a performance for us today. On the drive in toward the coulee edge here, I came across an unfortunate sight. This little killdeer, recently deceased, and was just laying dead in the dirt road. Probably bumped by a construction vehicle, or maybe it even, flew into some vehicle traveling down the road here. And either way, it's likely roadkill of one sort or another. But I thought I would take it home because it's in such good shape. I thought I would take it home and experiment with traditional style Blackfoot taxidermy. I do have some animals that I need to replace in the bundle that Mahoney and I take care of, the beaver bundle, and I've got examples of those species in my freezer waiting to fulfill that role, but I'm not practiced enough to feel confident in things like skinning small birds and skinning them such that they're really just their body is not cut down the middle, but just cut at the end at the rump and peeled up like a tube. Hey, the old style taxidermy has the birds set much like museum collectors do when they have the birds taxidermied and set in their stacks. Not the ones that are on display that are posed like lifelike positions and stuff, but the ones in the stack that are there to study. That's kind of how the Blackfoot ones are. They're stuffed with grass, but it takes a lot of skill to do something like that with a small bird, even with modern tools, and to imagine that people were doing it with stone in the past. So I'm gonna practice, I think, on this killdeer at home and see how that goes. Something I wanted to mention, the last couple of days there's been a real spike on the YouTube channel. One of the videos, a really unpredictable one, the one I had caught a couple of skunks in the morning, I think, and then went to pick up a dead rattlesnake off a University Drive, and then I did my draw for the mystery box on that video. So that video, which is only 10 or 12 minutes long, ended up getting around 200,000 views all of a sudden, and so I got a heap of subscribers and a lot of people wanting to join in the next mystery box draw, which is cool. It's kind of exciting to have this sudden surge of subscribers. It put me up over my 10,000 subscriber line, which I was waiting for. It was coming, but it catapulted me up almost, I think I'm closing in on 12,000 now. just from that one video being spread around somehow or another. A lot of people told me that they received it as a suggestion on their phone or what have you, a suggested video. So I don't know how that comes about, whether that's something that YouTube did for me or what, but a heap of new subscribers. You know, I've found over the years that my subscriber base really, like, it's not the masses. You know, it took me like 7 years to get up to 10,000 subscribers, and you know, my channel is just a journal. Like, maybe some people saw that video and they think my channel is 100% wildlife, relocation and rattlesnake type of channel. It's a lot of that, but it's other things, and it's going to be interesting to see, you know, whether those subscribers then like plummet in the future when they realize, you know, that my channel really is just a video journal of things going on in my life, whatever they might be. Also, for all of those that said, hey, add me to the next drawing for the box, you got to know that I'm not going to actually go looking for you if I call your name out. It's going to be on one of the videos at the beginning of September when I do the draw, and once I call out somebody, the winner, they have so many days to respond, and then I'm going to make another draw. So I'm not keeping anybody's addresses on hand. I'm not going to be searching anybody down as the winner. I mean these mystery boxes to go out to people that regularly watch the channel, and so if you're not engaged, you might miss that. So I just wanted to put that out there just in case, because people did give me some information, some personal information, like they were assuming that I would contact them if they won. I won't. All I'm going to do is announce it, you know. Been thinking about maybe going in the river for a swim as it gets hot here in the day, but we'll see. Sometime soon I'll be doing that. And I really hope I get some snake calls soon. I'm missing my rattlesnakes. So while we're still out here, I might as well show you the tail end of this natural event that's going on. And there's some evidence for it here on my Jeep. The other day I was out here, and like yesterday or the day before, and there was a bunch of little beetles just all over my Jeep. And here's one of them. Let me get the other camera and I'll train it a bit closer. So this is what's known as a thistlehead or seedhead weevil. And the other day when I came out here, like I say, there was a bunch of these on my Jeep. Like, it was noticeable. What's going on? And my first instinct was to think that it was some kind of a mating swarm that was bringing these weevils all over my Jeep. Here's a good example right up here, kind of silhouetted against the sky. Oh, out of focus. So yeah, no, my initial impression was there were so many of these adult weevils on my Jeep that it must be I'm in the middle of a mating swarm of some kind, you know. And so that's what I was thinking was happening. But now, having kind of considered it for a day or two, I have a different opinion. Like their name suggests, the thistlehead beetles are connected to thistles. In fact, they're an introduced species here. They were brought here, ironically, to control a native species by the agricultural industry. Canada thistle has an inclination toward settling in disturbed grounds, right? So if you imagine that every tilled field in Alberta is disturbed ground, Canada thistle just wants to be all over that place. And so they brought in this aphid, or not this aphid, this weevil, to try to control it. I don't know what the success of that attempt to play God is. I don't agree with the whole process, obviously, but you know, now that they're here, they're going to be here. It's like any other introduced species. Now the whole ecosystem here has to kind of adjust, and they have to adjust to this place, and eventually a balance is struck. I'm not the kind of guy who agrees with well, for one thing, like purposely taking a species and introducing them somewhere so that they will be invasive like that, of course. But once a so-called invasive, it's not the weevil's fault that they came here. They didn't come looking for it. And a lot of these plants that are considered invasives, they didn't go looking for it. They just showed up here, you know, because of us. And now they're part of this ecosystem. And we play this game where we think that we can cull these species and set things back to the exact kind of biodiversity that we had, you know, when the bison were here, which was the first assault, you know. Anyway, I'm kind of going on a rant there. So these weevils, what they do is they lay their eggs on the developing seed heads of thistle plants, and then their larvae eat at those thistles, and they themselves actually pupate inside the head of the thistle seed head. They pupate to adult, and as adults, then they come out into the summer, and they're gonna hibernate. They're gonna find places to hibernate. I don't know where they hibernate. I'm slowly learning, you know, as I discover by first-hand experience the hibernation chambers of different insects, but I haven't found these weevils yet. And after hibernation, then they come out and they repeat the process. They mate. They lay their eggs on the thistle heads. So yeah, so having thought about it for a night or two, obviously we're into the latter part of summer. So what I'm observing here is not a mating swarm as I originally thought, but what it is more likely a bunch of newly pupated insects, weevils, which brings up the question, where are they coming from? Because if they've just pupated here, shouldn't there be a bunch of thistles around? I mean, shouldn't I see like a whole field of Canada thistle here? I don't see that. I see a lot of absinthe. These same weevils are also known as seed head weevils. So I don't think that their biological bind is entirely toward thistles, though they lean in that direction. I think they are probably here in this environment inhabiting some other plant. I don't know what that plant is. I tend to suspect the absinthe, but you know, there's just as much crested wheatgrass. Could it be that? I don't know. One of those biological mysteries, but they're out here. Hey, there's a bunch of them out here. The other day there was a ton of them. Now that we're trickling toward the end of the event, it's a quick event. Insect lives, things happen fast, you know. But yeah, if you happen to be in the area, I know some of you, at least that tune in, are from Lethbridge. If you happen to be in the area and you see some of these weird bugs with the big long beak like gonzo, that's what you're dealing with. It's just out here by the access road. I recognize now coming back out that I drove through a bunch of Canada thistle. Hey, this is all Canada thistle in here. And we've got it on both sides of the road. And if I remember right, last year, when this area was first really starting to be hugely disturbed by the construction that's going on here for the new subdivisions, last year I think there was a lot of thistle, a lot more thistle than there is absinthe, but this year absinthe has kind of taken over. So yeah, they might be coming still from the thistle plants rather than anything else. But my question is always like how they're fitting into the ecology here, because what I observe is that a lot of the introduced species, you know, they cause a disturbance when they first enter the environment, but I think that they start, you know, nature has to adjust for that, right? So they start fitting into other roles, other ecological roles here, and you know, and eventually just become a player. I mean, this is how things have always happened, right? The movement of species through space and everything. It changes things, and we're changing those things rapidly. And we can control that, but I don't think the way to control that is to, you know, be having like military assault and military language regarding the species that are supposedly invasive, because you see it just plays really into what works for agriculture. Because when there is an actual species that we've introduced that likes disturbed land, then it's an invasive species that takes over. When it's a native species like Canada thistle that likes that disturbed land, well, then they're happy to bring in an invasive species like the weevil. That's my point. Woohoo! Wasn't even home yet. I was almost home, but wasn't even home yet. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I have a real snake call. First rattlesnake call in probably, like I said, 4 or 5 days. So it's a little one. They said by the trash can at a residence of Stonecrest Point in Riverstone. So we're gonna go check it out.
Just a baby. I hope you don't mind catching small ones.
Nope, I don't mind.
Under the garbage can.
He's under the can, hey?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll figure that out.
So I just slid it forward before, and it's sitting there. So.
Oh yeah. No, this is actually probably a 2-year-old snake,
Oh,
really.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was that big at all.
Yeah. This might even be a 3-year-old. Yeah. Because they're like earthworms when they're newborn,
Oh yeah.
and then they're about garter snake size, small garter snake their first year.
So what do you do with him? Just put him out in the prairie, or?
Yeah, my permit from Fish and Wildlife dictates I have to bring it back to the most likely hibernacula that it's
It's from?
connected to. Yeah,
Okay.
Which is right out here.
but it's
Down
out
at the
there.
end of the. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a little ways, but
Well, the corner down here. When you're down
oh, you might see them there, but I don't think they're down there.
Oh, okay.
The den. If only I could do this every day. Oh wait, I do this every day. I love my job. I do. I probably love my job more than 99.9999999% of people in the world. Okay, I'm just going to kind of talk from off in the sidelines on this one because there's several snakes around this site. This is an active den / rookery site. The den is very close to the rookery, so it's really hard to be away from the snakes, and there's at least 3 big females here on site and possibly more. The one that I'm introducing here is a younger female, it looks like. I'm curious to see how the new red light in the bucket cam worked, if it worked at all. But this little one, I'm sure, belongs to this crew here. It's at what I call the North Riverstone site, and just taking a picture of her now so I can ID her. Well, I can have her identification for later. I've probably not seen this snake before because she's such a young snake. My guess is that she's in her maybe second full summer. So she's a good, almost full 2 years old now, if not almost 3 years old. So I'm just gonna take her out here, if she'll cooperate. There we go. There you are. Does that look familiar? Look like a place you've been before? I think so. Uh-huh. Adios. Yeah, I chose the site that I did on purpose. Not only do I believe that this snake comes from that denning complex, but I could have released him, really anywhere in the vicinity and he would have found his way home. But I went right there because I was just curious. It's early, it's early in August, and we're only in the end of the Saskatoon berry moon. But it's not going to be long before we got snake babies being born. And so I'm looking forward to it, and I'm just like jumping the gun a little bit, coming to check these ladies out at the rookery. Okay, we're headed into late afternoon. It's now 4 o'clock and I have another snake call. This one's at the University of Lethbridge. Sounds like it might be close, if not within the compound of the destination project. If that's the case, they're probably not going to allow me to bring the video unit in. They've kind of clamped down on me there in that space within the destination project where they're building that new facility. I'm not allowed to bring my video unit, and I have to wear pants, boots, a hard hat, a vest. I'm not bringing pants with me, so they're gonna have to deal with me in shorts, but if they insist on boots, I've got some. Hopefully that's not in that area, and so we can deal with the snake as I normally would. Yeah, I'm okay. Visible still?
Yep.
Cool. Perfect. Perfect. No false alarm. No salamanders.
Oh, I can see it from here. No, he was actually see where that piece of poly is right there?
Yeah.
I can actually see his back straight through here.
Okay.
So he's just curled up underneath that poly.
Okay, perfect, perfect.
Right.
What? Oh yeah, I see him in there. Yeah, I'm right close to it here.
That black piece of poly right there, right underneath it.
Yes, yes. Very upsetting. Oh, oh, oh. Ta-da.
Awesome. Nice video.
So this is a good looking little snake. I think he's a male, though he's pretty young. It's hard to tell. He's got a little bit of that greenishness to him. And I don't know exactly what happened with bucket cam on this one, but I tried to start the camera and it was failing on me, and so I just bagged it. Got the job done, you know. So it's a hot day. I've come down into this coulee, kind of north of the destination project where they're working, which is where the workers described it as coming from. They described it as coming down from this side. So there is a den somewhere back in here that I haven't found yet, but I'm working on it. Any case, in this heat of the day, I think this Saskatoon bushes, this long grass, this will be a good place to let him go. Are you ready, buddy? Let's get a close-up look at this. Hey there. You ready to go?